welcome to Battle Base Beta, and we do have spawning in the top right position our purple allied player from Team NACL. It is YuiYui. In the bottom left corner as the Cyan Empire from Team H2O, the French representative and the Empire player making it this far, it is Kiro. Of course, the other Empire player making it this far is indeed Kiro and YuiYui, who is, of course, going to be in those top three. Now, this is a best of 5. Whoever wins this advances on to the grand finals of the 2014 Christmas tournament. So, that of course means that there's still an opportunity for either one of these players to make a comeback and go all the way to the grand finals, but they're going to have to play through each other and then play against Kiro and YuiYui, which should be a pretty good series no matter who it is. Kiro opening up with that dual refinery, opening up with like that triple dojo. Going to be looking to spread them out a little bit there. And potentially going to be trying to sneak around the sides, around the top and the southern part of the map to go for some sneaky things. Wow, YuiYui, look at this wall off here, man. I think he's going for a little bit of an airfield-based play, something a little bit sneaky. No? Oh. I'm assuming he's doing... Nope, I have no idea what he's doing. I thought he was going to do the thing where you like deploy the MCV and you kind of make a wall off with the MCV and another structure. But in this case, no, I have, he's doing whatever he wants to do. You know, no one's going to tell YuiYui what to do. He's going to do whatever he wants. Peacekeepers heading out along the north and the south sides of the map. Trying to kite around over here, get up here, and clean up that oil derrick. But on the right side, maybe Kiro can make something happen with that dojo. I'm not 100% sure if he's going to be able to, but he has the opportunity to make something happen. YuiYui, on the other hand, he's heading up to a third refinery on the high ground. Wow, he still hasn't actually grabbed his own oil derrick. You think killing your opponent's oil derrick would be a bit of a note to you to be like, hey, it might be time to take my own oil derrick, depending on how things work out. Mecha Bay going down for Kiro. There's the third refinery for YuiYui. Third refinery is already up for Kiro. Fast 3 ref. Of course, that means your Mecha Bay is super late, and if your opponent is going for fast airfield-based play, you can really be in a lot of trouble. Dojo does go down, unfortunately, for Kiro. He wasn't able to pull off anything sneaky. As you can see, he kind of deployed it in an out-of-the-way area, hoping he would be able to sneak something in, potentially an engineer, maybe tank busters, what have you, to be able to get some damage out on YuiYui and really take the game away from him in kind of the early stages. But it was not meant to be. YuiYui is a little bit too in control. And he's got his third refinery down. He's also going to be able to get up potentially an airfield or a war factory over here, however he wants to play it. Tengu's going to be cleaning up some dogs, and YuiYui may not quite have the intel on the fact that this third refinery is established over here. Maybe he does, maybe he does not. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, we've got an extra command post coming out here for YuiYui. He's going to be looking for an area to expand to. It looks like he's going to be heading out onto the water. And more dojos coming out for Kiro. Now, these can be just to absorb some damage from incoming units, but they can also be for some interesting sneaky play if we end up seeing them get thrown down as like forward reinforcement points. Not sure. I'm guessing he wants them to help break the front of the base, but again, we'll have to see exactly how Kiro decides to use those. Command post going to be going down, command hub rather, going down for YuiYui. And Battle Base Beta is in some cases considered to be an Empire-favored map. Some players will say that. I don't know of very many players who say that it's, you know, like Soviet or Allied favor against Empire, but maybe there are some players out there who think that. YuiYui, on the other hand, he's a very commanding player. He's up to that 4 refinery economy, dropping down another power plant as well. Now, Kiro, can he get the harassment off that he needs? He's been playing a pretty passive game, which ordinarily versus allies you can't really do. You got to do some damage. You got to poke and prod them. You got to tear them apart bit by bit. And almost death by a million cuts is usually how you got to play as AVE. And Imperial Warriors going to be rushing in. Are they going to be able to clear out the building? Well, maybe, maybe not. Some of these Tengus are going to be taking a bit of extra damage. And nice bombs there. The splash damage going to be enough to kill off that dojo as well. And it looks like YuiYui may be getting pushed out of the middle. But Kiro, is he going to be able to do much more than just take control of those buildings? Because those buildings are not going to win you the game. They're a strong point on the map, but it's not, again, it's not going to win you the game. There's not inherently something so powerful about these buildings that once you control them, you have got the game. Especially considering we didn't see the crazy man spam for the center part of the building. Oh, losing a Tengu. Very unfortunate there for Kiro. Multi-gunner turret even being placed down, and a power plant just to make sure that this expansion is self-sufficient. Oh my word, is he going for a 5th refinery? YuiYui, he is really just looking for that cash money in this game. Goodbye, Dojo. That gets eliminated as well really quite quickly. And, I mean, there's two Vindicators, one Apollo, potentially Tier 2 on the way, potentially Cryocopters. No, it looks like he's just got something queued up. Barracks going to be getting placed down, potentially Cryocopters, or Tier 2, excuse me, after that. There's the 4th refinery for Kiro. Tengus are heading out. He's going triple dojo, or this could just be to sell them off because he's like, I don't really need them. I'd rather have the money. And where are these power plants actually going to be going? Potentially they could be sent to the corner of the map just as kind of an insurance policy. Kiro going to be very upset when he sees this one multi-gunner turret guarding this expansion because it means he's not going to easily be able to clean up this harvester. And of course, if you lose one Tengu while engaging for a harvester kill, then it's not really worth it. One Tengu will pretty much be guaranteed to go down, or if you lose 2 Tengus, it's really not worth it. 2 Tengus, I do believe, just went down. And Vindicator's going to be coming in, dropping their bombs, cleaning up another Tengu. A 4th Tengu does get eliminated. The multi-gunner turret does get replaced, and Kiro has just been dashed upon the rocks here. YuiYui has absolutely been able to just hold the line there. And that attack just did not go well at all for Kiro in this game. YuiYui definitely with a superior position. Although, again, things are not over yet. Oh my word, that's 5 dojos. Now, it's quite possible 2 of these are just going to be kept with the army. They're, of course, going to be kind of... they're going to allow Kiro to crush any infantry of his opponent, but also they might just absorb a couple of shots from his opponent. Clearing out the middle of the map can be quite good, as it will allow you to safely traverse, but again, it's not necessarily the victory that Kiro needs in this game. There's going to be that number 5 refinery. YuiYui, he's been able to do exactly what he needs to do. He's just been able to play the game his way, pulling Kiro apart little bit by little bit. He hasn't really had to strike out and do massive amounts of damage. He's been playing more defensive, playing more eco, and he really does not want to tech up. He really does not want to go for that war factor. Instead, he's going for those expansions, going for those multi-gunner turrets to keep them safe. And into the second building they rush. These Imperial Warriors, they're going to finally clear out the middle of the map. But again, is that really like that big of a deal for Kiro to be doing? I'm not actually sure what just got eliminated over there. Quite a bit of debris. Again, YuiYui just sitting on that 5 refinery economy. Not very often do you actually see a player get up to that 5 refinery economy. Kiro not quite going to be doing the same, at least not just yet. Vindicator's coming in, cleaning up that dojo, making sure there's not that reinforcement point for Kiro this close to Yui's base. And Yui, he's going to try to hold the line with Peacekeepers. He can, of course, reinforce from the dual racks on top of the hill. There is going to be the Tier 2. Cryocopters may be coming out. Wow, this base is just so densely packed. 3 power plants packed in there, 2 racks, and, of course, the armor facility and the airfield as well. Kiro's starting to break through the ranks of YuiYui and actually getting himself some nice spread of veteran and heroic units. But Yui, he's got the production on top of the hill. That is a lot of Tengus. I mean, I knew that Kiro was producing Tengus, but he has just produced basically nothing but Tengus. and this is definitely going to be putting them in a more favorable position than he otherwise would have been. But YuiYui, again, just has to defend this base. This is where all of his infrastructure is, and of course his economy is spread out across the map, but this is where the more power units are. Oh, is one of these a spy? That would be crazy if one of these was a spy and Kiro just went for like a mass surround on these units. Cryo shot going to be firing off. Kiro splits perfectly around it. He's got the surround pretty much on this multi-gunner turret. He's going to be able to eliminate this. His peacekeepers are going to be, or these Imperial warriors are going to be buying a little bit of time before this army actually reaches the Tengus of Kiro. Kiro hasn't really done that game-ending damage, but he can start to pick away at the economy of his opponent. On the south side of the map, 2 Riptides going to be tearing apart that water expansion of Kiro. 2 Guardian tanks are going to be pushing forward and going for the kills on those Tengus, cleaning up 1 Tengu, and a second Tengu may very well be going down. I'm not sure what that was, but the Guardian tanks have survived. 1 Harvester is going to get targeted down after... Oh, there's the transform of the Tengus, but now they're in the air. They can't really do the damage to the ground units. 2 Apollos show up. These Tengus do have point defense drones, which means they should be able to deal with these Apollos and even passing along a little bit more veterancy. Although the Harvester did go down, there's not much left on the ground for Kiro. He is going to be able to escape on out of there with his remaining Tengus. And there goes the Tsunami tank, going to be able to escape on out of there. With that Tengu, he was able to clean up those 2 Riptides. Kiro establishing himself that extra bit of economy, which should bring him up to those 5 refineries, which will put him a little bit ahead of YuiYui until YuiYui gets his main base refineries back online, which he already has. And there's the tier 3 for YuiYui. He's teched up all the way, which of course means Mirage tanks, Athena cannons. Potentially, if he ends up going out to the water, we could even see aircraft carriers, but I would expect it to mostly just be for Mirage tanks and Athena cannons. And I mean, in a couple of competitive matches, we have seen sentry bombers, but it's just not very common at all. YuiYui, he is in a pretty solid position, but again, Kiro is not done yet. He's been getting himself into a better and better position. I don't know how much that engagement in the last engagement really went for him. I feel like it didn't go very well. I feel like it turned out a little bit better for YuiYui because those Harvesters just are not as cheap trading Harvester, or are not as expensive trading Harvester for Harvester. The Allied player is always going to be losing out in that, or always going to be winning out in that sense. So, but I'm not too sure how things are going to be going. Of course, do not be deceived by that delivery truck. That is indeed a Mirage tank down in the south. YuiYui going on the offensive. He's going to be cleaning up 1 of those refineries, potentially getting the kill on another one. Yes, he'll clean up another refinery. Gets the kill on both of the Harvesters or 1 of the Harvesters as well, so it was offline before it even got taken out. Just cutting down on that mining time for Kiro. Kiro does have a powerful army, but can he stand up against the allied might of YuiYui? Mirage tank can, of course, do lots of damage. There's a cryo shot going to be firing off, and this is going to be the power of cryo shots. In some sense, you can force those engagements. Kiro going in for the crush. There's not a whole lot of infantry here for him to eliminate. He's getting on top of the units, and with that honorable discharge, he may be able to do the damage that he needs. The Athena cannon isn't doing anything due to the Aegis shield. There's the spy purchasing, it looks like, 2 Tsunami tanks, turning them to the side of YuiYui. Kiro does deploy a dojo on the front lines. He will have that as a reinforcement point, but I don't know that it'll actually be able to do anything. More Mirage tanks are coming out. Tengu's trying to get on top of them to do what damage they can, but the repairs from the War Factory is going to be enough to save that 1 Mirage tank. The Athena cannon does get eliminated. The tank busters are doing what they can, but YuiYui has held the line. He's eliminated the forces of Kiro, and Kiro has been beaten back. And of course, losing 2 refineries as well is not going to be doing very well. YuiYui is just like, man, this is my map. What are you even going to do? There's the heart coming out from YuiYui. He does seem to win on this map quite a bit. Kiro is probably just feeling a little bit down and out from this game. Not sure if he's going to tap out right here. We've seen he's just been fighting through pretty much all the way to the bitter end. And I mean, I don't know that he's going to be able to take this game, considering how that engagement went the last time around. Is he going to be able to do much better the next time around? I'm not really sure that he is. And I feel for him. He's not exactly in a comfortable position. Oh, my word. As soon as the ore refinery deploys, there's a Riptide waiting to just start attacking it. And, I mean, Kiro, he's doing what he can. He's going to mount the defense that he can. But YuiYui is just in the better position. There's the GG well played coming out for Kiro. He has been defeated, and YuiYui will be taking the first map. Kiro not able to do the damage early game. YuiYui got to play exactly how he wanted. 10,000 more credits, or 12,000, if you will. 12,000 more credits over the course of a 13-minute game. Roughly equal to 1,000 credits per minute more than his opponent. And of course, he was able to really just keep a lot of those engagements efficient. Some of those Tengu engagements against multi-gunner turrets just did not end well. And that'll wrap up game number 1, but this is the best of 5. Kiro is not out of it yet. Can he make the comeback happen? We shall see. Yui is a difficult opponent, though. Welcome to Infinity Isle game number 2 of the Losers Bracket Finals, and we do have on the left side from Team NACL, he's up 1-0, it's YuiYui. On the right side, as the Cyan Empire from Team H2O, he needs your support. He's down 0-1. He is Kiro. And this game, I do not know what is going to be happening because Kiro, he can pull out some crazy stuff, but I feel like YuiYui is still the better player. Can Kiro take games off of YuiYui? Absolutely. Which is exactly what we're going to be expecting to see. And Kiro, I don't know, maybe he's got a bit of a mental block, but he's one of those players who can make it to the top 4, who can get to the final rounds of a tournament, but he can't quite make the final push to take one of his own. Now, YuiYui certainly, I would say, has more experience, but Kiro, do not count him out, because as soon as YuiYui gets a little bit lax in his defense... Okay, wait a second. How many dojos are there? Okay, so for now, it's just looking like the 3. Maybe there was a 4th one that I missed that got taken out. There's number 4. Kiro could be going for some sort of infantry all-in or really heavy infantry aggro in the early game. Tank busters. No mecha bay, which means no sudden transport. Or is he going to be going for a sudden transport? He's corralling one of them, which I assume was just a bad rally point or a misclick of some sort. But YuiYui pushing forward. He's got his 2 refineries. He could be moving his MCV back if he wants to go for the expand. He's packing up a Riptide, going to be sending it along the south side of the map. Okay, was it 4 or was it 5 dojos? I'm not... Whoa! What in the world is that? I have no idea what that was. That was just like part of my screen turned dark. At any rate, this dojo is going to be deploying for Kiro. He wants to make sure that YuiYui does not have an easy time taking that expansion, and it's going to be a little bit annoying for him. And down in the south, we've got that Riptide. A dog jumps out, gets the bark off, and locks down, it looks like 4 or 5 of those Imperial Warriors. This Riptide may not be able to escape for too much longer, but on the right side of the map, another Riptide going to be coming in. Javelin Troopers are most likely inside of this, but I'm not 100% sure. 4 Javelin Troopers, it looks like. No, that is number 5. And this Riptide with these Javelin Troopers should be able to lock down that one refinery. Can the MCV get any crushes off? Most likely not. The refinery is immediately sold off. YuiYui is going to be into panic mode, though, dealing with this attack coming in for Kiro. He's got a lot of infantry here. The sell-off of the refinery and also of the power plant going to be getting him a couple of Peacekeepers. The Imperial Warriors need to deal with these Peacekeepers. Kiro does not want to lose too many of these tank busters, but we'll see. Both of the harvesters have been killed off. YuiYui doing a good job of quickly eliminating his opponent's economy. Can he continue on this streak, though? Going for the refineries, going for the power plants will also be a good idea, and Kiro might just sell them off and then Bonsai charge immediately the Imperial Warriors that he gets to try to kill off those Javelin Troopers, but we shall see. Yes, he did try it, but YuiYui is paying too much attention. Refinery for Refinery, they both killed off the main bases of their opponents, and this game is going to get scrappy, it's going to get crazy, and I feel like that favors YuiYui in general. He's the one who has a lot of experience with these wonky, crazy, turret-pushy type games, and I mean, of course, as allies, you can go for that turret push style. Empire cannot do that. It does not work with the way the MCV works, with the way how their base defenses are just bad. You just cannot contend against YuiYui in that sort of a manner. Cleaning up the oil derrick, not a bad idea. Kiro did grab the one in the north as well, just to make sure, and he's cleaning up every single wall segment. YuiYui forced to run out onto the water. Of course, units on land, like infantry from Empire, are notoriously bad at killing stuff out on water. And the fortunate thing for Kiro, oh, never mind, that's not fortunate at all, because I was going to say the fortunate thing is that this Riptide will take a literal age to kill off that MCV, but when you've packed along 5 Javelin Troopers inside of the Riptide, suddenly things get a little bit more dicey for Kiro, and he has just got nothing going for him. He doesn't have the same insurance policy in terms of the refinery, airfield. I thought for a second it was a naval yard that YuiYui does have. But Kiro, if he can keep up this income, YuiYui not going to be allowing that to happen. He needs to pick up at least 4 of these Javelin Troopers, maybe just leave one. That guy's fully heroic. He doesn't want to be losing that guy. He will get the kill on that oil derrick, and actually this Javelin Trooper, can he escape? No, he cannot. The Imperial Warriors Bonsai charged him down, cleaned him up, and I think 2 of the Javelin Troopers got away. Kiro has just enough money for another refinery, and Kiro kind of controls the land. With this many tank busters, which he does have, 8, maybe 10, maybe 12 tank busters, and a good handful of Imperial Warriors, Kiro kind of controls the land. YuiYui is out on the water, but again, multi-gunner turrets are just so much better for the allied player than the defenses of Empire. MCV down to half HP. YuiYui may actually be... Oh, he's doing some sneaky things around this map. Kiro may not actually be able to deal with just the aircraft of his opponent. As you can see, the bomb splitting to eliminate as many units as possible, picking off just the tank busters, since those are the damage dealers versus buildings for Kiro. I mean, not much else that YuiYui can do. Oh, YuiYui might actually spot that. No, he doesn't actually clean up that power plant, which means Kiro doesn't have to worry about rebuilding the power plant. However... Oh, that naval yard needs to get down to the water stat. It cannot be wasting time up here in the north just on land doing nothing. It is going to be potentially getting targeted down, although these Javelin Troopers cannot stick around for very long. One does not get crushed. Oh, it does get shot up, though. The second one does get crushed, and there's 3 Riptides here, which can, of course, chase down that... Well, I mean, so if they turn around and head around, like, on the far side, they can indeed chase down that naval yard, and it's a bad situation for Kiro, because he may control the land, but he's got to go out onto the water to actually kill off YuiYui. Now, he has cleaned up pretty much all of the forces on the ground of YuiYui, but he cannot deal with the aircraft, and really this, that Dox Corps is so close to getting eliminated, even with the burst drone slowing down this Vindicator. There's like no way that this Dox Corps will actually be able to survive. I don't know that it's even possible. Command hub on the right side of the map. We're gonna follow this Dox Corps, man. It's gonna be getting taken out. Veteran, or rather elite status, and Kiro. I feel for him, but I don't know. Losing the docks, he's still got the refinery. I don't know that there's really anything he can do. He needs something to go out onto the water. And I mean, he's got another docks, but that's another grand basically down the drain that he had to spend. And he's just losing. He's having his army whittled away bit by bit. And now YuiYui is firmly in the lead on economy. And Kiro, I mean, he doesn't have stuff that shoots up. He can go for Yari mini-subs, which is really his only option in this case. The MCV, I mean, what is it going to do out on the water? He can't drop down multi-gunner turrets like YuiYui can. I think that was a... Was that a Yari mini-sub? I'm not actually sure. Oh, it would be so cruel if Cruel. I want to make sure that it's cruel and not cool. If YuiYui actually ended up going for... if he had somehow gotten out a single cryocopter and then he just shrunk down the MCV of Kiro and crushed it right here on the shore, that would be pretty darn cruel. But Kiro trying to bait out some of the bombs, or maybe not bait out, he was just trying to kill off the Conyard. Of course, the Vindicators have to wait for the Yari mini-subs to surface before they can drop those bombs. And with the Yari mini-subs kind of circling like sharks around this area, of course, Kiro's not so sure about that, but with the Yari mini-subs circling like sharks, Kiro is kind of remiss to actually drop down any, or YuiYui's remiss to actually drop any bombs, since he's going to have to go back and try to clean and try to deal with the Yari mini-subs constantly attacking his airfield while his Vindicators are refueling, which of course he doesn't want to have to deal with. Multi-gunner turret did manage to get established, and now this MCV is going to be getting pushed back, and this is the beachhead. This is the point of contention for YuiYui. He's got this one kind of advantage of now he's got the economy advantage, and he's starting to push forward on the land. He did get beaten back a little bit there, but Kiro has been able to push on a bit further, and Kiro just does not have much left in terms of infantry. He's got, it looks like, 2 Imperial Warriors, both of them fully heroic, so this is going to be an incredible comeback if he's able to make anything happen with them. But with 3 Vindicators bombing away the MCV, there's not many options left for Kiro. Down in the south, he's got 3, maybe even 4 Imperial, or excuse me, 4 Yari mini-subs around the map. But can he... Oh, if he kills all 3 of these Vindicators, that could be huge. But no, they get up into the air. There goes the airfield. Oh, if he could have killed those Vindicators, that would have been such a big reset point for YuiYui. But there's a new airfield, and there's not really anything on the ground. Oh, he's going for the Engineer. Are there any bombs left? The Vindicator kills the Engineer. Oh, Kiro. He's so close, but it looks like YuiYui is going to be going up 2-0 in this series. Oh, man. Kiro coming so close, but now he's got a naval yard. Oh, my word. If he went tier 2 on the naval yard and went for tsunami tanks, oh, my word. If he baits out YuiYui, somehow he gets out enough Sea Wings to kill off the Vindicators, transforms them up, and the Apollo, I guess, and then transforms the Sea Wings into the air and manages to somehow kill off YuiYui, that would be absolutely incredible. But again, YuiYui, he's got the ace in the hole. He has got that insurance policy. The GG comes down. Kiro, after a bitter, cold game, will be dropping down 0-2 in this series. Man, you just have to feel for Kiro in these games, getting so close to making it back into that grand final. He was already in the winner's final, but can he do it? It's match point now. YuiYui is on the cusp of victory. Welcome to Cabana Republic, and spawning on the left side as the Cyan Empire from Team H2O. Give a cheer, he needs your support. It's Kiro! And on the right side as the Orange Allies, he is dominating in this series, but he is not clear yet. It is from NACL, YuiYui. And I kind of love doing stupid intros like that, just a little bit too hyped for it, but whatever. Now, Cabana Republic is considered to be an Empire map. Wait, do we have a... Nope, not a Fast 3 refinery, just at least not yet. At least not yet. We may see it after this. Dual racks coming up for YuiYui. He's walling, it looks like, both of his refineries. He's not playing too rough, but he is willing to play as rough as he needs to win this thing. Kiro, he's got the chops. He's taken games off of YuiYui in the past, maybe even a series in a tournament in the past, but I don't know about recently. Kiro has been playing a fair bit more, but how often does he get a chance to play against YuiYui in a Best of X series? Well, not very often. And I don't know if he's going to be able to bring it back for the reverse all-kill. I mean, he has to play a perfect series from here on out. He has to go basically 3-0. And that's a tall order against YuiYui. You want to talk about maybe some other players, maybe it's, you know, against me? Anyone can go 3-0. But Kiro has to 3-0 YuiYui from this point. YuiYui can go for whatever, like, dumb, BS, cheesy game he wants. For 2 games, basically. Before it's, you know, equalized things up. He's going for an airfield. He's got the oil derrick, YuiYui. Or, excuse me, Kiro, going to be taking a bit of a risk over here, a bit of a chance. Of course, that extra refinery is always going to be that risk, that Fast 3 refineries. Now, YuiYui, his MCV is already on the move. He's not going fast tier 2. Nothing like that. And with this timing, as long as Kiro isn't suicidal, he should have out enough Tengus. But he's going to be strapped for cash. He's going to be very strapped for cash. But this has an opportunity to pay off in a pretty big way for Kiro. Now, YuiYui, if he identifies what's going on in this game, ooh, a second engineer, going to be capturing that oil derrick of his opponent, just going to be so annoying with that. But if YuiYui is able to identify exactly what's going on, which he may get kind of a tip-off, he won't know for sure, but he may get kind of a tip-off by seeing the fact that there's basically no units in the main base. Oh, he doesn't actually fully scout with the Apollo. Okay, so he's coming in now. He may get the tip-off of like, why don't you have any units? Where are you units? I've got a pretty good spread on the map. I don't know that you could get across the map or into a pocket of the map with a bunch of Tengus and not have me notice. And there's the oil derrick capture for YuiYui. Kiro is going to try to grab it back, but it's going to take him a little while. There's the refinery for Kiro. And I'm not sure where Kiro goes from here. I mean, YuiYui is going for a fast-ish third refinery as well. And that buys Kiro quite a bit of time. But where does Kiro go from here? Does he try to go for a big kind of mid-game play, mixing in tier 2 Mecha Bay units? Or does he just try to go even more eco and go even more dangerous? Oh, man. YuiYui is like, hey, it don't matter, dog. It don't matter what map you choose. They're all my map. Kiro, I mean, before the game and kind of in between the games, they've been kind of discussing like, hey, Battle Base Beta, that was a YuiYui map, but Infinity Isle, that's a Kiro map. Didn't quite work out for Kiro. Now Cabana Republic, YuiYui before the game, he was like, hey, Cabana Republic, I see what you're doing. That's an Empire map, therefore it's a Kiro map. But now in-game, YuiYui, he's changing his tune. He's like, what exactly are you doing? You're a sneaky fellow, Kiro. I'm going to be expecting something, but he was probably expecting just immediately into 3 refs for Kiro. Not quite what Kiro ended up doing. Kiro, I don't think, is actually going to be able to get the deploy on this dojo core. It's just taken so much damage. There's a couple of peacekeepers there to finish it off. And YuiYui, well, he's got 2 Apollos down here. He really wants to know what's going on. He's probably a little bit confused. I mean, I don't know for sure that he's thinking like, oh man, there were no Tengus. I didn't see any Tengus a minute earlier. Why were there no units? Why were there no Tengus? What is my opponent doing? Is he doing something sneaky? You know, he should have more units than this. But, I mean, he might have just been kind of like, all right, something feels off about this game. It's weird. And not in the way that I'm normally used to playing it as. But there's going to be the refinery for Kiro, taking himself at the usual 3rd refinery location, taking himself number 4. Kiro will actually be grabbing that oil derrick. The Vindicator bombing the oil derrick anyways, and with that many Vindicators, you're going to have to wonder, like, is this dual airfield play? I feel like this is dual airfield play. But technically, Kiro only saw 4 Vindicators, so I guess he, in a way, he technically doesn't know, unless he's got vision on the Apollos or something like that. But he's definitely going to be a little bit suspicious as to what exactly the composition of YuiYui is. Going for more dojos. Man, I feel like I have no idea what's going on in any of these games anymore. It's just like every game I'm just so confused as to what these players are going for. Like normally you don't see this big of a split. Oh my word, he actually got out another engineer. Huh. Like, why was that a misclick? Did he actually intend to go for another engineer out of that dojo? Okay, I guess maybe he was going for something I can't imagine that he produced that engineer with the intent the entire time of grabbing that observation post. I assume that was just a reaction. He was like, oh, gotta get this engineer somewhere. Might as well bandbox it and send it into the observation post. But maybe he was. Maybe that was his plan all along. There's refinery number 4 for YuiYui. He has still not teched up his MCV. He may be looking to do that after whatever he's placing down, which is another power plant. So he may be looking to go for tier 2 now, and then potentially even into a base push or something like that. But I'm not sure. 5 Striker VXs are out on the map. Is Kiro going tier 3? Well, no. For now, he's going Docks Core, taking out another power plant. And building up some Tengus, another power plant, still no nanotech mainframe. He's not going tier 3. I thought maybe he would be looking to do that, but at this point, I can't blame him for just staying tier 2. Of course, cryocopters do kind of ruin the fun of tier 3 for Empire players against allies. Vindicator's going to be coming in, and of course, at this point, Kiro definitely knows that it's dual airfield. He probably had his suspicions before, but by now he definitely knows. YuiYui might also kind of have an idea of what he's playing against from Kiro. My word, how many dojo cores are you going to build? I'm considering just nicknaming Kiro the Dojo. Like, what is this? This is so many dojo cores. Like, this is not standard, right? This many dojo cores? This can't be standard. Am I that far out that I don't know how many dojos a player builds? Like, this is crazy amount of dojos, I feel like. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is more standard than I realize, and building this many dojos is actually what the cool kids do. Oh, these Tengu's going to be picking off this Harvester, not allowing it to deploy. Getting the kill there, which is nice for Kiro. He's going to be he's going to be costing YuiYui that extra bit of cash. Not a huge deal for Yui. Certainly not game-ending, but it's annoying for YuiYui. YuiYui cleans up that oil derrick, and then the Tengu will transform. Of course, his Tengu buddies are going to show up to help him eliminate these Peacekeepers, but where's the transform? He may just have to do it to try to engage against these Vindicators, and with, I think, 7 Tengus, he should be able to deal with the only, like, 2 Apollos that are out on the field. There's the Tier 2. Does he have any... Oh, he might have a spy inside of that Riptide. I'm not 100% sure. But there we go. The Riptide's heading up north to do their harassment. YuiYui, he's got it. He's got it under control. He knows what's up. Apollo's going to be scouting out, keeping their eye on this naval yard. They want to see exactly what's going on. And my word, that's like, I'm assuming that was another dojo, which would be 3 more dojos in this game. Although that dojo had certainly earned his stripes. He's got the cash money for kills. Oh man, another Yari mini-sub getting eliminated here. And YuiYui, he's playing very defensive. He is not going crazy. This is kind of why he's the Alchemist, because he's mixing it up so much. You never know exactly what he's going to do. He may be extremely explosive, or you may have come up with kind of a passive concoction, something that that is stable and is just strong, and this is exactly what YuiYui is going for. He's pretty much playing this as passive as you can. I mean, he's moving out with his Vindicators. He's moving out with little attack groups and doing what damage he can, but he's not looking to end the game in a crazy fashion. He's not looking to really put on insane pressure. He's teching up. Now he's up to Tier 3, playing safe, playing defensive, now getting artillery just to make sure he can't really be caught out and pushed away by base defenses or by troublesome long-range units. But Kiro, he's still got a powerful army to contend with. Can YuiYui actually deal with this army? I mean, my initial answer is yes, but if Kiro gets a good angle of engagement, or, I mean, Kiro could just give away a couple of extra Tengus. No, YuiYui's like, hey, I am a benevolent fellow. I am not... Oh, wow, 2 Vindicators do get cleaned up there. That's nice for Kiro. It's not, again, the big game-winning moves that Kiro needs at this point. But cleaning up an expansion, cleaning up an airfield is going to be kind of moving towards those game-winning moves. Cryo Shot does fire off, and Kiro is going to be actually just walking right into it with some of these Tengus, giving away 3 or 4 Tengus to that Javelin Trooper inside of that building. The Apollos show up. They're going to get some nice shots off there. They clean up 1 striker. Both of the Apollos do end up escaping despite the transform of the strikers, and now these Tengus have to deal with this Javelin Trooper inside of this building. It's fully heroic. Vindicator is going to be coming in. There's the transform of the Tengus, which means the transform on these striker VXs should be on cooldown pretty soon here, which means they can start getting to town on that ore refinery. In the south, it looks like just a little bit more damage being taken on these Vindicators. One of them does go down there. Not sure exactly what that was. Another Yari mini-sub going for the attack. Vindicators are going to be very important, but YuiYui might be able to afford to lose a couple of them. In the north, he's got the command hub unpacking. Definitely in vision, or that should be pretty much in vision of this refinery for Kiro, which means he knows that that is a potential target opportunity for him. He can come in there and try to do some damage or potentially eliminate a refinery of his opponent. Yari mini-subs, a lot of them have been sacrificed to break that position. I don't know that it's actually worth it for Kiro to eliminate this refinery utilizing that many Yari mini-subs. I mean, 3 more. If the 3 of them would have been produced and just killed off that refinery, that would have been all right. Ooh, a Striker VX does go down. YuiYui doing what he can to engage cost-effectively, and of course utilizing those Athena cannons. He's been able to build up and macro up the army that he wants to have. Actually could go ahead and place down a naval yard if he really wanted to get out an aircraft carrier. That blackout missile will just help him turn any engagement into a good one for him, as long as the blackout missile hits true and the aim is good. But there's so many options on the table for YuiYui. Ooh, even in the north, he clears out that refinery for Kiro, pushing Kiro back onto just that 3 refinery play. Now, YuiYui should also be on only 4 refineries as far as I know. Yeah, it looks like all 4 of them are indeed mining. He could potentially be going back up to 5 if he rebuilds that refinery. He may be doing that right now. In the middle of the map, Kiro does have control of this building. And of course, it's 2-0 up for YuiYui. He's at match point. All he has to do is win this game, and he's in the grand finals of the Red 3 Christmas Tournament for 2014. He won last year's Christmas Tournament. Can he be a 2-time Christmas Tournament champion? Well, we shall see. But Kiro is going to have to pull back. Again, the 3-0 against YuiYui from this point, and he can do it. Kiro has the chops. He has the gameplay to do it. But YuiYui has got such a nice setup here in this game. It's not invincible, though. He is not unbreakable. And Kiro just needs to find the recipe. Multi-pronged attacks may be the way to do it, but can he really break this position if there's going to be Riptides produced? If there's, I mean, he could potentially even go up to Tier 2 and get out Assault Destroyers eventually, but if there's going to be multi-gunner turrets there, it's going to be a difficult position for Kiro to break efficiently with just Tengus. One Apollo will be going down, but he trades it for a Tengu. That's all right for Kiro. And YuiYui is encroaching closer and closer to the base of Kiro. If Kiro can crush this army, that is step 1. If he can, let me rephrase that. If he can cost-effectively crush this army, that is step 1 of taking this game away from YuiYui. The Tengus are coming in. Maybe if they clean up these power plants, that could buy more time for Kiro, but he's flying over these IFVs, these Javelin Troopers. He's just taking damage in the north. We do have a bit of harassment here, but Javelin Troopers will be able to clean up one of the Striker VXs, potentially able to clean up the other Chopper VX as well, and not even did the Harvester go down on the north side of the map. Yari Minisubs, they've got the surround. They are going to be able to eliminate this refinery, but at what cost? They're trading it out for a couple of their lives, so that's not necessarily the efficiency that that Kiro needs, but he needs to continue these moves. He needs to make the magic happen and push. Oh, no. Kiro even getting locked down a little bit there by that hydrofoil. And this is just, it's turning bad for Kiro. Again, he can still take this game. Cleaning up a couple of Vindicators is nice, but he still hasn't dealt with the ground army of YuiYui. He can now deal with this refinery now that he's got a better position and he's away from that multi-gunner turret. Also, the command hub is down, which means no reinforcement multi-gunner turret, and also the seaport is getting targeted. The naval yard should be eliminated. And actually, that's a fully heroic Yari Minisub dealing a ton of damage. More veterancy gets passed out there. That's a fully heroic Tengu. Those Tengus need to pretty much just get out of here there. Oh, one command hub does get reestablished, so now it's kind of forcing Kiro to commit even harder into this, but YuiYui at the same time, he hasn't pushed in. This is great for Kiro. YuiYui, if he would have pushed in and tried to do a bit of damage, maybe pick off a refinery, maybe pick off a power plant, whatever it may be, he could have potentially done some damage, but while Kiro was distracted, but YuiYui did not do that. And YuiYui still has a formidable army, but Kiro has been able to macro up a ton of tsunami tanks, especially mixing in some of those tank busters. Against Mirage tanks, you always have to be careful mixing in those infantry, but the extra DPS, in some cases, can end up paying off in a really big way. Versus Mirage tanks, sometimes you just see a single Mirage tank like lace up 89 tank busters and just, kill them all in pretty much one shot, and it's really quite awful to watch in terms of it's just terrifying to see, but oh, this is not the engagement that Kiro wants. He's just letting 2 tsunami tanks just get absolutely taken apart. He rushes in for the honorable discharge damage, but the bonus is not going to be enough. The Athena cannons are pulling back. Of course, that minimum fire range is preventing them from attacking. The tank busters are breaking through, though. Can they clean up the Athena cannons? And the crushes are real. The tsunami tank does not survive enough to kill off the Mirage tank. And the Mirage tank might just be able to clean up these tank busters. This Athena cannon may be forfeit. It's going to be close. One of these is a fully heroic tank buster, but no. The Peacekeepers, the Mirage tanks, the forces from YuiYui are a bit too powerful. And Kiro, I think, is just going to be a little bit too slow in this game. Yari mini-subs once again going for this refinery. Kiro needs to pull it to the other side. Pick off the power plant. Pick off the refinery. Kiro throws down the GG. And it looks like Kiro is going to be dropping out. He takes third place. A good finish for Kiro. He should feel good about that. Losing to the YuiYui? Not a big shame. All of the best players pretty much have done it at one point or another. YuiYui, a monster of a player. And Kiro not able to make it happen, but with some very solid, passive, defensive, macro play, YuiYui able to take game number 3 for the 3-0 sweep versus Kiro and advance on to the grand final of the Christmas tournament.